Hello. Um, Alright, here's a broad explanation on Tetrio in general. I need to not dox myself, hopefully. Notes. So, today I will explain how I got good at Tetrio, and also how you can get good at Tetrio, and what my future goals for Tetrio are. So, let's start with the basics. Tetris, in general, is really just a stacking game. The flatter your stack, the better it is. The reason for that is because you can go up and go down much more efficiently. So, for beginners, I would advise learning how to 9-0 stack. This is the most basic kind of stacking, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are trying to get good at that and are really good at that. For example, classic Tetris. Now, once you do that, you have to learn the basics of T-spinning. A T-spin is a setup where, let me get out something. Quote. Left draw. Come on, please. It's so laggy. Okay, essentially, a T-spin is a T-shaped hole with, actually, hold on, let me do this here instead. Actually, screw Tetrio. I should have set this up. Actually, you know what? Screw this. Alright, I'll just start from the beginning from here. Hello, so I'm going to explain how to get good at Tetris, how you get good at the game. Spectrix, you're watching this. Anyways, now that you're here, you can type your questions in the chat. I'll answer you, just like some live thing recording. But most players, essentially, start from the beginning. So, beginning is learning how to stack flat. The reason why stacking flat is better is because it allows for a more efficient up stack and down stack, so it's easier to do both of those. Now, once you get good at that, you can learn the basics of a T-spin. Let me get an early eye. So, this is a T-spin. Now, a T-spin is classified by a T-shaped hole and then an overhang on top. So you have a T-shaped hole and then you have an overhang on top. And that's a T-spin. And then you learn more complicated T-spin patterns, which is, for example, a T-spin triple, which is classified like this. And then after that, there are also more complicated ones like a fin, a neo, and then ISO, TSD, which is this. These are more advanced T-spin setups that are rarely used. So, how you want to get good at this is by learning T-spin patterns. Now, T-spin patterns are widely used everywhere. Some are extremely complicated, like, let me scroll to my Discord. So here's the T-spin Discord server. Some are like this. Some are like this. Some are like this. But essentially, these are more advanced T-spins. Now, the basics of T-spinning is, well, you want to learn how to T-spin upstack. So, I'll divide this into two things. T-spinning while upstacking and T-spinning while downstacking. So, if you want to get good at T-spin upstack, what you want to do is just repeatedly make T-spins. But here's how you learn other T-spin patterns. So, let's watch some top player gameplay. So here's Team TSD. A lot of videos, and I think one of the most prominent top players who are also really good at T-spins is Vince HD, with that very nice misspelled thumbnail. So let's look at this. This is old, but it will do. So as we watch top player gameplay, what we want to do is copy T-spin patterns. Oh god, this is so old. Hold on, wait, let me go for a more recent one. Just need to find a VOD. Can't find the VOD from. I am trying to find what. Okay, for some reason it's gone now. What? Okay, there it is. Alright, I've been taking too long. So, here's how to study T-spins. So let's skip to okay, let's just go to random point. Okay, before I do this, Spectrix, I hope you're still there with me. Seem like you're here. Anyways, if you want to get good at the game, here's a little overview of like everything. So Tetrio is divided into upstacking and downstacking. Let me open MS Paint. So MS Paint, so you have two sets of skills. alright, which is decision making. And then you have your mechanics, which is also known as in stacking. And this is combines into T-spin, stacking, Tetris stacking, and these are goes into like different kinds. So this is 6-3, 5-4, 7-2, and then Tetris stacking goes into, or just actually this is more like flat stacking, and it's your skill to just figure out how to do it. So I haven't mentioned look-aheads, but here's an overview of, like, let's say maximum skill. So for example, if you wanna look at maximum skill for 6-3 stacking, here's Promo's video of like Promo. So here's 6-3 stacking. So Promo is one of the most prominent 6-3 stackers. And okay, I'll also tell you how to study T-spins here. So whenever, okay, so actually here's how you study top player game. So in a certain board state, you wanna predict when they'll do a T-spin or when they'll do something. So right now, I would say, what's a good T-spin? Also, can this thing open? It's not allowing me to open it. I can't annotate on top of things. Please. File location. Okay, finally, it's open. Took long enough. But essentially, you wanna figure out what they're gonna do. For example, I think they're gonna put an S piece here, and maybe a Z piece here, maybe a Z piece here, and then let's see what they do. So, here. But then you were like, oh, why did they do this instead? So you ask yourself, why is my solution worse than their solution? So let's like skip above. So ask yourself, why is this worse than this? Well, one, it doesn't work. So oopsies, let's undo. I meant not that. Hold on, that was YouTube is extremely laggy. Hello. I hate my PC. But just ask yourself why this thing isn't good. And then you just keep repeating it for every T-spin. Alright, so you just keep repeating that for every T-spin you see. So for example, why would he go for an S-prop? And then, once you notice that, you want to take the bare bones of like the stacking pattern. So like, if you have a if you have a box shape and like this 6-3, well, so let me replicate that here real quick. So let's say you're in a position somehow that you get into 6-3, something like this, and then you have an S piece and then LO box and then a T piece. So what you want to do here is do this, and then just make like a mental note that, oh, if there's something like this, then you want to do it like this, and then you just try to apply that in your gameplay, and then you learn other T-spin patterns that are also specific. So like after this T-spin, what did he do? Oh, it's another one of those heart-shaped patterns. So he stacked up here and then got another heart-shaped pattern like this. Alright, and then we just ask ourselves, okay, how do we fix it? Oh, we do this. And then we just keep repeating that. So like, oh, he does this kind of fix, which is weird. He uses a J piece to resolve this, and then makes another T-spin. And then you ask yourself again, how do I continue this? Do I put a Z piece? Do I put a Z piece, O piece, O piece, J piece, and then I piece? And then we predict that, and then we just play, and hopefully get that playback speed to like 0.5 or 0.25 because it's too fast. Alright, PC handle. So let's see what he does here. Does he place the Z piece, the O piece? No. Why doesn't he do that? And then we ask ourselves, why is this solution better than this solution? So think about it. Is it because his stack is more flat compared to this? Yes, because the O piece here makes an O dependency or an LJ dependency. So this one is more flat. And then we just predict the next T-spin. Obviously my T-spin vision is probably on par at these players, so you know my T-spins aren't going to be as bad. But just keep doing that, repeating that same question. Why is this solution better? And then, okay, I'll just wait until like really good T-spin appears. So, because promo does do some yakineries. So like here you see some T-spin stacking. Oh, but then what's this? What? Okay, can I please pause the video, please? I hate YouTube. It's so slow. So you see here, instead of like doing a normal T-spin pattern after this, promo, instead of going for like, let's clear this, clear screen. Instead of doing that, instead of doing like please stop doing that. So instead of doing S piece here, L piece here, Z piece here, or like whatever T-spin, we're just gonna use this as an example. Instead of doing this, they do a weird, well, it's not like that weird, but like, say it's weird. They do this instead, and it won't pause again. Now, let's ask ourselves, why does promo do this? Why? It's not flat. We really don't know why he does this. Alright, then let's play the video more. Let's see how he fixes it. He does this, which is really weird. In that case, if it's really weird and you really don't know why, just assume that the player did make a mistake. But now we take note at their fix. Now look at this. Look how they built exactly. Look how they built exactly. Can I play this and pause this without like? Oh my god, so laggy. Anyways, look, notice how they built exactly 8 blocks so that their double Tetris can be fixed as instantly as possible. So you want to take note of that pattern. So if I block my well on accident, oh no, a misdrop, then what I can do here is count to 4, or try to count to 4. And then you just kind of apply that fix. Okay, let's say the Q was more forgiving, then let's, like, you know, do a count to 4 here. And something like this. I know it's bad, but like, you want to do a count to 4, and then you can do a Tetris, etc., etc. But you just take note of those fixes. For example, I'm gonna use my own gameplay because I'm kinda decent enough at that. So whenever I do this, I take note of this incomplete TST pattern. So I know that this is a TST pattern, and then I can do this, and then it resolves into a rather clean stock. But you just want to take note as much of T-spin patterns as possible, and also, like, just keep learning. Yakine has a lot of, like, decent T-spin videos. Like, the fixes there are pretty insane, but in terms of top player fixes, let's see some. So let's apply this to top player gameplay. Alright, so in an actual game, and let's also, like, rewind it a bit. So this is Furia and Promo. So, you know, you can make, like, a mental note of what the commentators are saying about our playstyles and stuff. So, for example, yeah, they're known for their ridiculous efficiency, and they're one of the greatest PPT players of all time, while Promo is known for their 6-3. You can make that note. So, like, their playstyles are going to be aimed towards, like, 6-3, for example, or, like, efficiency. So right now we can see Promo's ridiculous speed into a 6-3. So let's try predicting their next move. Alright, I'm going to be spectating Promo's board. So, you know, you can do the same with Furia's board, but I don't care. But let's see how they resolve this situation. There's no way they can make another T-spin double, right? So, you know, after the T-spin, we don't know what's coming next. So, let's make a mental note. Okay, this is my mental note right now. F4. Can I please restart? Alright, I'm just gonna make a mental note of this board state. JTS. And then, once I do that, I try finding a T-spin. Alright, obviously, I am doing this while, like, spectating because I'm fast enough, wahahaha. But we try doing that. And then, oh wait, this works, and I can get 2 T-spin doubles. Let's see what they do. Alright, let's compare our solution with their solution. Oh, they put the J piece. They put the L piece. They put the J piece like this, and the L piece like this. Why is this better? Ask yourself that. Obviously, I'm good at T-spins, so, like, I know the advantages and disadvantages. If you're good enough, you can already just weigh advantages and disadvantages, but, you know, just if you're a worse player than me, usually you won't be having that much advantages. And then we just keep making a mental note of that board state. We understand why this solution is better. So right now, yeah, they're aiming for a LST within 6-3. Also, Skyfire is a great commentator. So, right now, they have the break B2B. Yeah, and then we also take note of patterns. For example, how do we keep back-to-back in this situation earlier? So, like, if I can't rewind exactly that much. But how do we keep back-to-back in this situation? Like before that eyepiece was placed, we just, we take note of that B2B pattern, then we try applying it into our own gameplay. Oh, and that perfect clear. I'm just checking if we're still there. Anyways, I'm gonna get my noodles, BRB. I have a hard time forcing. I'm not actually making decisions. All of us always goes in. I think harder my PPS stuff is great. That's just normal. You really have to slow down in order to use these patterns. Like, you can't just expect yourself to immediately go fast with these patterns. You have to take time. It takes time. So, for example, like me, I regularly go into Zen and just why is this so slow? Also should close this. So here, for example, on Tetrio, whenever I play seriously, my PPS usually can go up to like 3. But whenever I slow down, try to think of good solutions, my PPS does go down. So for example, here, if I can, like, focus, please. Anyways, so whenever I'm playing like seriously, I would like go somewhat fast. And obviously my frame rate is low, so I can't actually play as fast as I can. But that leads to bad decisions. Now look at this. What is this? Now, obviously, if you make a bad decision, you can just always make a fix. Or well, not always, but like most of the time, there is a fix that you can do, which leads into nice stuff. But that's inefficient because it wastes T. So what I would do is, instead of going fast, I would slow down and think of my next move. So here, I would, do their standard TKI follow-up, this another standard TKI follow-up. But then around this point, I have to read my cue. So, how do we fix this? So I look back at my T-spin pattern. So like here, a while ago, or just general T-spin pattern, I noticed that there is a 3 wide here. So there's 3 wide gap, and I also have a Z piece and an S piece. That means I can do an STMB cave like this one. So this one. So I do that. Then I look at my cue. O piece, I, S, L, J, Z. That means I have a lot of pieces to work with. So I can make another T-spin like this. And I get a T piece here, so I'll use that T piece. But next, I see that there's a T piece here, and I can make this overhang here. So I do that, and then I see another T piece, and then I see that this is okay for a heart shape, so I go for this T-spin, and I can't get it there. I love my computer being so slow. And then here I can do another T-spin, then I just repeat. So here another T-spin, and then here another T-spin, and then here I go for an STSD because I can't make a T-spin normally, but I am aware of this pattern that whenever you place the S piece here, it on like this kind of board state, then it becomes an STSD, and then I just need to find an overhang. So I'll just look through all my pieces. The L piece is perfect for this, and then the O piece can go here, J piece can go here, etc., etc. So I do that instead. But I realized if I do this, then I'm making a J or L dependency here, which is bad. So instead, I noticed that there's an L piece here. So that means if I do this and then place a Z piece on top, then I won't make that dependency anymore, and it goes into this. Alright, I hope that's clear enough. When you have a floor, what are the advantages of disadvantages over an S prop and a 3 wide gap? So like a while ago, I was on the floor. So let's rewind. I'll just start from the beginning. So around here, here's another useful pattern. It's called an STMB cave, and I am too dumb to realize that you can't actually make not an STMB cave, it's Shakiku. Oh wait, no you can, but it's really bad. STMB cave. Okay, let me try making an STMB cave at the bottom. So like here, I can't find an STMP cave at the bottom. This is gonna take a while. This is not going well. I am just doing T-spins normally. Where is... I really can't find an STMP cave. Here's one, I guess. Apparently it leads to the PC. Anyways, here's one STMP cave. So there's not... The advantages, I guess, is a T-spin. The disadvantage is sometimes you're left with an icky board state, but it's usually fixable, so it's not really that big of a deal. I don't know. Sometimes it's sometimes you can greed like STMB cave. Oh, I know the perfect opener for this. Not this variation. Oops. Here. So here, sometimes you can greed for STMB caves. So like here, I make too many STMB caves, and what this can do is result in like a really wide gap that is hard to like normally fix. So like here, you're kind of forced to go for a weird kind of fix. Other than that, I can't think of any, mainly because I'm just too good at stacking and I can't undo this. I'm just referring to me back then, but usually just take note of patterns and then just apply those patterns. So like this one, and then this one, and then this L prop, for example, that's a pattern you can take note of. This is also a pattern. Then STMB caves, and then this S piece thing is also a pattern. This is also a lot more T-spins. That's really it. It's learning patterns and then applying those patterns as much as possible. What I see in your case that like you can't do is look ahead. Now to get good at look ahead, you just look ahead. So think of it like this. Try your best to visualize all the pieces. So like try visualizing a TKI, for example. So I can like do this here, and then I try to like, as much as possible, don't like place pieces, expect it to work, and then if it doesn't work like right now, then you just undo. Try avoiding that. Try like using your imagination to like place the pieces. In that case, you will get better at visualizing. That's basically me back then when I had like, when there was no undo feature in Petrio. That's what I would do. And then yeah, you plan ahead your T-spin, so like Z piece here, like Z piece here, where are you, can I, Z piece, O piece, J piece, S piece, I piece. Does that work? Yeah, if it works, then go ahead. And then just repeat the pattern. So here, I can make another floating donation. So that's really good. And then here, 4 wide gap, what can I do? Well, there's something that's called a Shakiku train. And this is what a Shakiku train looks like. It's really cool. It's a really cool donation you can do. So you just take note of that. So take note of that pattern, and then whenever you see a 4 wide gap, then you try applying it. And then here's Trinity pattern. So I know that whenever I see a T-spin double and an O piece hole, then I can put on a way. I need to find a way to, like, this is my brain right now. I'm trying to figure out how to fill all these pieces for a trinity. And then I look at my pieces. I have a J piece, so can this J piece go here? Yes, this J piece can go here, but then I need to fill this spot in. So I would prioritize filling that spot in instead, because I need an L piece to go up here. And luckily we have an L piece. So let's put that L piece here. And then, what else? I have another J piece I can use for this. But then you come into a dilemma. I need an L piece here, but I'm using that L piece here for this. So I'm just gonna put the L piece here instead, and then just delete. Oh wait, I cleared the whole board. Anyways, let me go back to where I was going. So J piece here, a J piece here, L piece here. Notice that I'm not using them in a specific order. Okay, that's intentional. So here, I'm like, okay, I have a J piece here, I have a J piece here, but then I need an overhang, so I'm still missing these parts. Well, luckily we have, what do we have? We have a Z piece, we have an O piece. But we still lack pieces. So let's just, since we don't have any pieces that can fit, let's try placing some pieces. So, alright, let's put some J piece and an L piece. And then I see, oh, here's a T piece. Oh, but I have an L piece here again. That means I can use another L piece here in that hole. So let's put the Z piece here, the I piece here, the J piece here. But then where can we put the S piece and O pieces? I have the L piece here. So let's put the O piece over here because we need a spot there. The S piece can go here because it makes the stack flat. And then boom, that's how you made a trinity. That's my mindset. So try doing that. And then that's really the thought process behind it. And then just do it faster. Okay. I've been live for 42 minutes, I just realized. But if you're still here, which I need, if you have questions, just type them out because I can't. I'm getting tired. If you can see the time. Other than that, I'll just explain. I guess I'll just explain this backing. But essentially, if you want to get good at upstacking, you want to master upstack, you have to get good at T-spins, creating T-spins on every well. So for example, 6-3, you want to be able to not waste T pieces. That's your goal. And if you have to waste T pieces, that means you did something wrong. And then here's a DT pattern that's very neat. Here's a T-spin mini into a T-spin T-spin double there. And then this one is an interesting fix, so I'm just gonna do this. Can't really think of others. I'm kind of mind blocked right now. Stream isn't sending stuff. I can do max 3 pieces and usually 2. Then that means you have to work on your visualizing then. So in order to be able to utilize look ahead, you need to visualize it. Just start visualizing like every piece. It doesn't matter, like you don't have to place the O, S, and T pieces before you see the Z piece. No, you can put it in any order. Like a while ago, I don't care about the order of the pieces. I just place the pieces in whatever order. So like here, I can use the let me get into like an interesting board state. Can't even open our main because of the frame rate, sag. Okay, I'm not gonna take the PC. Alright, so here, notice how I'm like gonna use both the J pieces as a wall. So like here, I can use the J pieces and the J pieces first. Then I look for the Z piece. I know that there's a Z piece, so I can put a Z piece here. And then next thing I think about is where I can put other pieces. So S piece, L piece, and then I just proceed with it. Okay. Any other questions? Because I'm gonna leave soon. How important is finesse by ADT? Finesse is not that important when you're slow. However, it's a crucial aspect which determines whoever is faster at a higher level and on speed capped games. So as much as possible, try having good finesse, because if you don't, you'll end up like me with like hard stuck speed. Best game mode to practice look ahead. So the two best in my opinion is 4 wide, because it teaches you how to like visualize those pieces. So whenever you're doing 4 wide, you're kind of practicing, you know, how to make the combo. No hold sprint is also good. It helps practice look ahead as well, but it's not that good because you have a lot of options rather than like 4 wide. You only have limited options per combo, and whenever you're holding combo, you're also like keeping track of your pieces. So in my opinion, 4 wide's still better. And then the next game mode that's also good is PC mode. So unfortunately, you don't have Discord. You can't join the PC Gang Discord server, but it's a game mode where you have to get the most PCs in a row. So right now, so like whenever you make, so first thing you do is you do a setup. So this is a 4-piece setup, and with this 4-piece setup, you have to look for a perfect clear. So you're forced to like try and visualize all those pieces in order to make a perfect clear. So right now, there is a perfect clear like this. And then for the next PC, you have to memorize another setup, and then you try to visualize another PC perfect clear. So right now I have another perfect clear, and then you do another setup, which leads into another perfect clear. Let's see if I can figure out how to perfect clear this. I think can't do this. I don't think there's perfect clear here, but like, yeah, this is probably something best. People memorize some of the solves, yeah. LST is also good because it also forces you to look ahead, like 5 pieces. Although if you like, yeah, it's also good. T-spin stacking essentially is also good for look ahead. So right now I'm just trying to do LST, maintain LST shape. So it's also good. But don't focus on LST alone. There's all other kinds of stacking. For example, 5-4, which is easily transitionable from this. And also yeah, 5-4 stacking. It was my preferred method of stacking back when I was not the greatest at the game. Still kind of is, even to this day, because of its versatility. What else? Yeah, these are how you practice look ahead. Once you practice look ahead, then you will be able to make T-spins consecutively because you know how to utilize your cue to make T-spins as much as possible. Now, you might be wondering about openers, but what makes a good opener, in my opinion, is if you're able to transition into a good, clean stack mid-game. So right now I'm using Fairy Cannon. It's an opener that is a T-spin single that leads into a good stack, and since it leads to a good stack, I call it a good opener. So right now, notice how it transitioned into a really clean 6-3. So that kind of makes it a good opener, in my opinion. And in the first bag of opener is that's probably bad. Well, yeah, I guess that's the most common use case, but yeah. Stacking flat is just about memorizing patterns and using look ahead. Yes, that's basically it. So you wanna memorize pattern. So you have a board, and then you want to think of the ideal stack. So right here, for example, this is not an ideal stack, so you want to think of how to fix it. So you can get creative sometimes with these, like this, for example. This is being creative, making T-spins. And my keyboard is being dumb, and that's not yeah. But yeah, that's basically it. So I think your problem is kind of just look ahead. I've noticed a lot that you don't necessarily do stuff. Anyways, okay, I'll just analyze your gameplay here, and then wait, are you still there? I assume you're there. I'm kind of a bad teacher because I don't know how to. Okay, you can paste your replay in the chat. But okay, anyways, did I explain this yet? I don't think I've explained this. Anyways, Tetris has two skills, which is decision making and your stacking. Your stacking is separated to flat stacking and T-spin stacking. T-spin stacking is the ability to repeatedly make T-spins without wasting T-pieces as much as possible. However, T-pieces can be replaced. You can waste T on T-spins if it really needs it bad enough. And then for